The college football season kicking off tonight. Plenty of games on tap, but that doesn't necessarily mean college football is the best bet on the board this evening. Hi everyone, Al DeMarco here, and this is going to be your Thursday video report. In just a moment, I've got a money-saving discount coupon code coming your way. That'll save you $15 off a single purchase today, and also a couple of football free selections, one in college, one in the NFL preseason as well. Listen, guys, I know everybody's excited about college football, and a lot of guys are coming out of the woodwork suddenly going, God, I've got to start betting again because I haven't been betting since the NBA playoffs ended, or maybe even before then, since March Madness ended. That's how it always is. And no ifs, ands, or buts. Guys, I've always maintained and always believed and always know for a fact that in the first couple of weeks of any season, it doesn't matter the sport, you always have the advantage over the odds makers because they really know no more than you or I about what can be anticipated on the field in the first game out for most teams. So you have the advantage over the odds makers. But again, you don't necessarily have to be running in there and jumping down on college football this evening. Because remember, if you go into your local sports book and you're putting $100 down on a game, for example, it's going to pay the same whether it's baseball or college football. In fact, if you're on a baseball dog, it could even pay more. So once again, don't get hung up necessarily with what the sport is. When you're making your action, don't set aside your handicapping and your gambling principles as well. Now, listen, I could easily, and I mentioned this on my website, I could easily sit here and tell you that I think the best bet in college football tonight is Wisconsin. Now, Wisconsin is a 34-point favorite. They were 35.5 at home against UNLV earlier today, so wow, you're getting such a bargain here. But listen, you don't need me to be telling you to be betting on a 34 to 35-point favorite this evening. And yet, I still think they're probably the best bet on the college football card. And I'll go into that in detail in just a second. But instead, guys, I got to tell you, with the baseball run that I've been on the past 2 months or so, and after another 15-dime winner last night on the Cleveland Indians, thank you for winning that marathon game in extra innings. To me, I think the best bet tonight is once again in baseball, and that's why I'm going with my 15-dime cheap chalk winner number 3 in a row. And again, for those of you that are newcomers, 15-dime play doesn't sound like a lot. But for me, it is because, 99% of my plays are rated between 5 and 15 dimes going in 5-dime increments. So it's right there at the top of the scale. It's every bit as strong as last night's winner on the Indians, every bit as strong as my winner 2 nights ago on the Dodgers, every bit as strong as my preseason winner on Monday night with the Jets in the first half against the Giants. And, of course, I'm on a 63-46 run over the past 69 days. So that's what my best bet is going here tonight. And I'll talk more about that Wisconsin-UNLV game. Of course, I've been reading about UNLV nonstop here for the past couple of weeks because they've got nothing else to write about in college football out here. But I do want to point out, Anthony Redd coming out of the blocks. Full blast tonight. I mean, both barrels are loaded, guys. 100-dime college football winner, number 5 out of 6. You remember his last 100-dime release? It was in the Orange Bowl. Stanford was a 3.5-point favorite against Virginia. All the Cardinal did that night against the Hokies was win 40-12. He went 4-1 with college football 100-dime plays a year ago. He's coming right out of the blocks, going with one tonight. $10 bettors have won $6,020 following his selections over the past 2 months. So he's taking almost 20% of that build-up bankroll and putting it on that one game this evening. Also want to welcome back Tom Chambers. Jesus, I'm so sorry. Dom Chambers. Not the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Supersonics, was it? Tom Chambers used to play with the Phoenix Suns as well, but Dom Chambers coming back today. Dom has been gone for just about a month because of some family and personal and medical issues, but he is back today. 80-dime release coming out of the block, 7-2 with 80-dime plays since making his debut at the site among 3 college football selections going. And also, congratulations to Scott Delaney. Did it again last night. 100-dime winner, number 13 out of 15 in all sports over the past 3 months. And it was an underdog. Arizona Diamondbacks plus $1.40 on the run line. So $10 bettors now, following Scott's advice over the past 5 months, 5.5 months or so, have won $10,300 over 10 grand earned in 5 months. So congratulations to him. By the way, he has a 25 dime play tonight in college football. He says it's a 3-touchdown blowout. Now your money saving discount coupon code tonight, guys, is going to be kickoff 15. Kickoff 15. KICKOFF and the number 15, no space between the word or the number. Kickoff 15. You enter that when prompted in your shopping cart, and that'll save you $15 off of any single purchase you make today. It's a one-time usage coupon. It's good only today. You don't have to use it to buy at my place, guys. You can use it on anybody's place here at the site for whatever you want to use it for. Kickoff 15. Kickoff 15 is your money-saving discount coupon code. Now let's talk about college football this evening. I thought a little bit about taking Syracuse at home, minus the 6.5 and 7 points against Wake Forest. But this was an Orangeman team last year that was just miserable at home, losing their final 4 home games a year ago. And it's an Orangeman team that I have my questions about offensively. Defensively, I think they're pretty strong. So I decided to back off that game, and I looked at every other game on the board, and of course, as I said, I open up the Review Journal every day, and all I read is about UNLV football, and I follow it not as a fan, but it's kind of hard to ignore it when it's the only thing that you're reading about every day. I just don't see how the UNLV Runnin' Rebels compete tonight at Camp Randall Stadium against Wisconsin. I mean, this is a young team that couldn't stop anybody defensively on the ground each of the past 3 years, giving up over 200 yards rushing on average. The past 3 years, I don't see how they're going to stop the Badgers tonight in Wisconsin. Plus, this is a UNLV team that has a quarterback making his first start, a sophomore tonight in Herring. And I think that's a recipe for disaster as well, because on the other side of the field, you could not ask for anything better for Wisconsin than having an established quarterback come into their program to fill a big void. And of course, I'm speaking about Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson made me a ton of money the past few years at NC State. He was also playing minor league baseball for the Colorado Rockies. Tom O'Brien, the NC State coach, thought that, baseball was encroaching on his college football time. So Russell Wilson, having already been a graduate with 1 year remaining of eligibility, which means he could go anywhere and play, instantly decided to leave the school. Many thought he would go to Auburn. Boy, that would have been good. But instead, he chose to go to Wisconsin. So he walks right into a powerhouse lineup. Now, this is a guy who can throw the ball. This is a guy who can run with the ball as well. So you've got a dual threat quarterback, and you got an outstanding Wisconsin ground game. Yeah, John Clay is gone, but they still got Monte Ball back there. They still got James White back there in the backfield. Ball, 973 yards last year, 18 touchdowns. The final 5 games of the season, he averaged 153 yards and over 6 yards a carry. Meanwhile, White ran for about 1,018 yards and scored 14 times himself. They did lose their starting left guard and starting left tackle, but the other 3 members of the offensive line are back intact. I think they'll blow holes through this UNLV undersized defense. UNLV 0-7 straight up and against the spread on the road a year ago. Losing those games decisively by an average of nearly 35 points. And you see what the line is tonight. First games out of the block, you've always got to be a little somewhat cautious, a little leery about whether or not a coach is going to go all out. Well, I think Wisconsin will, because last year, even though they won here in Las Vegas, it was a nip-and-tuck affair for most of 3 quarters before they pulled away for the 41-21 victory. This is a Wisconsin team that last year, showed no mercy in running up big scores against the likes of Indiana and Northwestern, so I'm going to go with them here tonight and lay the points, the big number, with Wisconsin. Now, preseason football. I told you weeks and weeks and weeks ago that we would make a lot of money in preseason football, that we not only had the advantage over the odds makers, we had the biggest edge we'd ever have in our lives because of the NFL work stoppage. And I proved my point. I hit 7 out of 10 preseason plays, 6-3 with the 15-dime releases. And I've said all along, the 4th week of the preseason, as you all know, it's tiddlywink time. Flip a coin. I mean, nobody knows what's going to go on. Because of the work stoppage, however, you have some teams that are going to have their starters play tonight. at least the one quarter of action against other teams that are just using the fourth game as they typically do as a throwaway game to evaluate talent. However, I do think there's value in a couple of games, specifically in the Philadelphia Eagles game, minus the 3.5 points against the New York Jets on the road. Listen, you know the Jets, how poorly they played on Monday night. I know because I had them against the Giants, okay? But this is a team that just had 233 net yards against the Giants, and the defense gave up 327. You're not going to see much of the starters for either one of these teams, but why I like Philadelphia in this spot is it's a situational play because of the quarterback derby they have going to back up Michael Vick, who's not going to be playing tonight. You know, Vince Young, a proven winner in the NFL as a starter with the Tennessee Titans. You know, he's had a decent spring camp, a summer camp, 17 for 27, 137 yards in limited action. He's expected to play the first half tonight before giving away to second-year pro Mike Kafka, who, of course, has played very well in preseason with a 93% passer rating, I think, so far. And, of course, this is the former Northwestern quarterback. So I like Philadelphia laying the 3.5 to 4 points in this one on the road. Not as much as I like Wisconsin, but you want my opinion, I'm here to give it to you. So that's the deal, guys, tonight. Don't forget to Kickoff 15 is your money-saving discount coupon code, and I'll catch you again on Friday.